All right, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing the first canning from this year's garden, which is really exciting. And I'm going to be making some rhubarb vanilla bean jam. Now, do I need any more jam? Probably not. I think I say that all the time, but it is something that I love making, and I'm just planning to do a small batch today. The rest of the rhubarb is just going to get chopped up and it's going to go into the freezer so that we can use it throughout the year. Now, this recipe is really simple. You don't need any pectin. It is considered a lower sugar jam. So it's just gonna be the rhubarb, a little bit of cane sugar, some lemon juice, and a little bit of vanilla bean as well. So I'm starting with slicing the rhubarb. We'll see if I pulled enough. I just pulled what I thought I would need for the recipe today. If I need to, I can run outside and grab a little bit more. So I've got the rhubarb all chopped up, ready to go. I'm gonna get this added to the pan that I'm going to make the jam in, along with some sugar. I'm just using some organic cane sugar today. One day I would like to get to the point where I'm making all of my preserves with honey in place of sugar, but we just don't get that much from our bees right now. So organic cane sugar it is. And you have a little bit of flexibility as to how much sugar you use. You could go a little bit lighter or add in a little bit more. And as always, I'll have the full recipe in the description box down below. So I'm going to stir this together and then let it sit for probably about an hour or so. Some of the juices from the rhubarb are going to release. This is even better if you do it overnight, but I just want to get this done today. So I've let the rhubarb macerate for about an hour, and as you can see, most of the sugar has dissolved. So I am at this point going to add in the juice of half a lemon, and I'm going to scrape out the seeds from one vanilla bean pod and add those in as well. Now that I've added the lemon and the vanilla bean, I'm going to give this a good stir and turn the heat up to medium and bring this up to a low boil, and that rhubarb is going to start to break down and thicken up. I've had the rhubarb jam at a low boil for about 15 minutes, and to check to make sure it will set, I just use a cold plate. You can do this with a spoon or even go by temperature. My jam is ready to go, so I'm gonna get this into some canning jars. I am canning this today. If you wanted to skip over that process, you definitely could freeze this instead. So I'm using 1/2 pint jars. I have them clean and hot, ready to go, and I'm gonna be filling to 1/4 inch of headspace. Now, this is my little disclaimer that this is not a tested recipe. I feel perfectly safe canning it, but if you're on the fence about that, again, you could freeze this instead. I was slightly off on my estimate of how many jars I would end up getting. So I got 5 1/2 pint jars out of this recipe, and I am just cleaning off the rims really well. I like to use a little bit of white vinegar for anything sticky like this, and then I'll get the lids on and the rings on to fingertip tight, and these are gonna be ready for the canner. Into the canner these go. I've just matched the temperature of the water in the canner to the temperature of the jars, and I'm gonna make sure that those jars are covered with a couple inches of water, and then these are gonna be ready to process. So I've got those jars in the canner, and they are going to process for 10 minutes. You guys know that I do canning pretty much all year round, but there's something about doing the first batch from the garden that is exciting. And in no time at all, we are going to be doing a ton in here. So I'm really looking forward to it. As always, I'll have the recipe from today's video in the description box down below. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.